Westmoreland Community Connections is a presentation of Citizens Fiber.
Welcome to Westmoreland Community Connections, a look at issues and happenings on Classic Hits 107.1 WHJB. Here now is your host, Jennifer Miele, Chief Communications Officer and Managing Director of Evangelization of the Diocese of Greensburg.
Welcome to Westmoreland Community Connections on WHJB. I'm your host, Jennifer Miele. Today's special topic, because it is Memorial Day, we thought it was even more poignant to talk to the president and founder of Westmoreland County Veterans of the War on Terror, Inc. They are in the process of creating a war memorial in Hempfield, Westmoreland County. So I'm really excited to talk to the founder today. Dorey, why don't you introduce yourself to everyone? Tell them who you are and how you came up with this idea.
Well, thank you, Jennifer. I'm Dorey Stabile McCarron. I am an Army veteran. And I do want to say this was someone's idea, and it was basically handed to me to take the reins and run with it, because it was and is a lot of work. So we were granted a half an acre there to establish a War on Terror Memorial Plaza, but we want it to be more than just, like I said, WHJB. We've been saying it again in the organization, we are WHJB, because it's more than that. Everyone since 9/11/2001, I feel they're all veterans of it. And I don't want to make light or someone say, I didn't serve in the military or I'm not a first responder. I think everyone who truly loves this country and loves our military and loves our first responders and has a loved one that is serving, they're part of this, because their heart is in what we're doing and making sure that our country and our freedoms are protected. So, sorry, this is humbling, and it's truly something that it's hard for me to say, because I'm a facilitator of it. I don't like making it obviously about me, but I have to talk about it. This plaza is going to be more than just the monuments. We hope to, beyond that, be able to give back to the community. So the plaza will house a pre-9/11 conflicts monument, which from post-Vietnam to pre-9/11, and our idea for that is a bridge or a timeline. We don't want anyone forgotten in that span of time of conflicts. And then we will have our War on Terror monument for all the past, present, and future, those who military who are serving and veterans, because this is the longest war in American history. And we don't know when it's going to end. It's still going on today, even though people don't necessarily realize it. It's still going on. And the sacrifices that everyone's making, the family members who have lost loved ones, people who are deployed, that's so important. I think it just gets forgotten about, and we can't do that. And we're also going to have our fallen memorial. Right now, we have 18 fallen heroes that we found are linked to Westmoreland County. We have a criteria that we came up with. Anyone who was born in Westmoreland County, lived in Westmoreland County, went to school in Westmoreland County, was attached to a unit in Westmoreland County, and anyone laid to rest in Westmoreland County. And that last one, Stephen Booker, was from Apollo, originally from Detroit, moved to Apollo, and he is laid to rest for the rest of our lives in the Avonmore Cemetery, which is in Westmoreland County. So I think, he gave his life for all of us, and he is laid to rest in Westmoreland County. We have two other fallen. Eric Hull and Nick Tomko were both assigned to the MP unit out of New Kensington, which is in Westmoreland County. They did not reside in Westmoreland. Eric is from Fayette, and Nick was from Allegheny. But their loss is no less important. It needs to be recognized because they were assigned to a unit in Westmoreland County. And the more we get the word out, I'm sure we're going to find more fallen that are linked to Westmoreland County with the criteria that we have. Eric McIntosh, he just went to Penn Trafford School. He's not necessarily from Westmoreland County, but he graduated and went to school here. So we didn't want to limit the criteria, but we had to find something to use as a basis. because we said, oh, well, they weren't, but they went to school, and then we didn't pick colleges. So it's hard. We tried to limit, make it, and 5, that's kind of my favorite and lucky number. Not that that has anything to do with it, but I thought that was, not as narrow, but it was broad enough. And that's what brings, with the Westmoreland County aspect, since the plaza was, the land was granted to us from the county, that's what makes it the aspect with our fallen for Westmoreland County. But the war on terror is global. And I have friends that I served with that we are trying to get information, ideas for the monuments. And I want them to be able to share their stories, because on the website, that's infinite. And I want, hopefully, the more of the word that gets out, I want people to be able to share their stories, and we can put their pictures on our website. A friend, Tony Naples, he's a Marine Corps veteran. He lives in Pleasant Unity. He's originally from a little town in Ohio. His brothers have fallen. And I said, well, I want you to tell his story, because he has a loved one who lives in Westmoreland County, and his story is important also. I think when I first started doing this, and why I continued, was to be able to give back to my, fellow brothers and sisters and arms and oath. But my father died when I was 10, and I don't remember his voice. So I think that was probably a driving force, having that loss, that, my dad didn't return home. And I know what that feeling is like. And I don't want anyone to think that their loved one's life and sacrifice was made in vain. So that's where it's important. And as I've been reaching out to Gold Star family members, and just one, like Uncle Bill Tomko, that's Nick's uncle. He lives up past by Grove City. And he's like, did you know Nick? And I said, no, I didn't. But everyone should know him. And I think in this day and age where it seems like there's no humanity and people don't care, just being able to reach out to people, and then they realize people do actually care. Other people's feelings and what they've gone through and their sacrifices matter. So being able to, to connect with him, and Nick's mother and father have both passed, so his uncle's carrying on his memory. And if we can do that, and that just brings I hope it brings some peace to his heart, that he knows after he's gone, Nick's life and legacy and sacrifice will live on. I mean, that's truly what our main goal is just, a group of us, just regular people. I mean, I don't want to say just regular, because it's a group of special people, because they're thinking, we all want to be part of something bigger than ourselves, and it's not about us. It's being able to give back to our community. Meeting Lori and Mike Uyghur, their son David, he was a graduate of Norwin. I'm also a Norwin graduate. Yesterday was actually David's birthday. So seeing that, and then when we can share things with Mrs. Uyghur, and then she's like, Dorey, Emily, we love you. That is the most amazing gift, and that's priceless of anything. And being like when we had wreaths across America, we placed the wreath because it was hard for them to get through the snow, because we actually had some snow this past winter, and that seems like such a simple and trivial thing to do, but when they're like, you took the time. And I said, that's all we have. That's the one thing my mother said. If you can give someone your time, that's again another amazing gift. So I want to make sure that I'm making my mom and my dad proud, and then everyone involved in what we're doing, just proud of what we're doing, and doing this again for Westmoreland County. This is home. And I think also with Matt Ruffner, researching him, and I was looking, searching for pictures, and oh my gosh, I worked with his dad during 9/11 at Amtrak. His dad, Chuck, I just an amazing boss, and I think, oh my gosh, we're connected. Like, what do they say? They 6 separation, or this of separation, 6 degrees of separation that I didn't even know. And I possibly had met Matt, when I was working at Amtrak. I don't know, but I know he comes from a wonderful family, and they didn't deserve that loss. But again, if we can do something, and then his mother, Mother Diane, I keep her updated. And
what is the update? What is the timeline on something like this?
So with due to COVID, fundraising's been difficult. As everyone knows, it's hit every business, nonprofits, charities, everyone hard. But I applied for 2 grants that we were just actually awarded. The DCED grant for a total of $275,000. And then Noble Environmental's Green Day, Green Gift, that was another grant of $10,000. And I don't want to negate that one is more than, the value, because I say that one of our first events we went to when we had a little tent, it was at Operation Vet Now, OVN event, someone gave us $1, $1, and I will never forget that $1. That's all we got in our little bucket. That is as important as the $275,000 grant to me.
Absolutely.
Because that may have been the only $1 they had in their pocket, and they found it important enough that they wanted to be a part of this. And I hope they remember, if they see this, they can say, that was me, because I don't remember their name, but I remember what they did. So, and that will stick with me. And so right now we have our design was done by Laura Patterson at Exquisite Design Studios. And then we're also working with BRS, which is Brandon Rumbaugh Solutions. Brandon is a combat veteran, Marine Corps veteran. And he's, and I don't want to say he lost both of his legs in Afghanistan. And he's an amazing individual. And when I met him at an event, I felt compelled to speak to him. I didn't know he had an engineering company. I just knew I wanted to speak to him about the monument, so he possibly would be able to get involved. We can help share his story. And he's like, well, I have an engineering company, Dorey. And I'm like, this is what we needed. Like, as if everything's coming into place because we're doing the right thing. And so BRS has been amazing with lining everything up when it comes to do with permitting. I don't know. I'm not a surveyor. I'm not an engineer. So even all this stuff, I have Dom, he's our site manager, who's doing all of that hand in hand with BRS. So I think they're just, with Hempfield Township, there's something with easement that they're handling. So once all of those, I guess, things are checked off we'll be able to move forward with getting bids for the service,
That's
which
really
that has
exciting.
To go through, I think, the Parks Department.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's great. You're listening to WHJB and Westmoreland Community Connections. I am on the line now with the president and founder of Westmoreland County's Veterans of the War on Terror. They are working on a monument right now, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
This is Westmoreland Community Connections on Classic Hits 107.1 WHJB. If you have a suggestion for a topic, or if your nonprofit organization would like to be featured on this program, call us during regular business hours at 724-216-1200.
Westmoreland Community Connections is a presentation of Citizens Fiber.
Welcome back to Westmoreland Community Connections. I'm on the line with Dorey McCarron. She's an Army veteran, president and founder of Westmoreland County's Veterans of the War on Terror Incorporated. Their goal is to create a war memorial in Hempfield Township at Twin Lakes Park, and they are well on their way to doing that. Dorey just informed us that they received more than $250,000 in grants from the DCED and Noble Environmental. So very exciting for you. Once you get all the grants in and the easements passed with Hempfield Township, you'll be able to start putting that monument out to bid. Now, I know this is radio, but could you somehow describe to our listeners, what might it look like? Just very big picture. What would it look like?
Okay, so if anyone knows, the spot of land that they granted to us is off of Georgia Station Road and Street Park Loop. It's near Peaches Plaza, the skate park, the dog park, and it's actually adjacent to the community gardens. So the plaza is going to be, so envision it's a square, and we had some other designs, and when Laura looked at them, she's like, the area was designated for passive recreation. So she researched healing gardens, because another thing is that later on is like PTSD, veteran suicide. I know that is a touchy subject, but it's something we have to address because it is so important. So important. So she was researching healing gardens, and when I was telling her we would like obviously colors and flow, and so it's a square. There will be 4 corner boxes, that's what I call them, and that's where each of the monuments and memorials will be placed. On the outside, it will be not super high because we don't want anyone to feel like they're enclosed. It has its own area, but it's open and flowing, and the grasses will be flowing, and I believe we're going to pick something that's purple. Loyalty, trust, those are all the colors of the branches of service are purple. That's what that color makes. And then there will be 4 trees in the areas in between those corner boxes with benches. And it will be a center area, basically a courtyard, green grass. And of course, as soon as you enter, there will be, the tallest flagpole that we are permitted that will be illuminated. And our hopes is and I say it, we want that flagpole to be seen from everywhere, so they can see, anyone who's looking can see that, have an art class. We want people to come to the plaza because it is Westmoreland County's. It is the community's. This is the community's healing garden and memorial plaza. That is how we can have people come there, see and share. We hope that people will be able to communicate. I think that's what we've missed now, is that communication and that human interaction. And we want people to feel welcome there. And again, respectfully, but also when I didn't finish explaining our fallen memorial. Our goal for that is to be able to have the laser engraved portraits of our fallen, not just an honor roll, a list of names. Like when I was saying about my father, like, there weren't a ton of pictures taken. But I want people to be able to see Matt's smile or Jason's smile or someone's, smirk or their eyes. They may not remember their names, but they'll be able to remember their face. And I think that's so important because we see a list of names and that kind of gets lost. But if you see a smile, and that hopefully it brings a smile to someone else's heart. So being able to connect we want people to revisit. That's the whole point. Revisit. So the other perennials that will be used, there'll be significance. We hope to be able to bring butterflies and birds. So the plaza itself has life. That's our goal with it. We do have renderings on the website. So that's wcvwot.org. Our renderings are on there. And as we continue, we hope to be able to put photographs and do, more updates in the news so people see as we progress. So the plaza, it's not overly ostentatious. I think it will be simple, but it will be beautiful. It will be tastefully done. And our goal is to do it with excellence. We don't want to rush. So we had a goal. We thought, this year for the 20th anniversary of 9/11, but that didn't happen. But that's okay. That's okay because we don't. It's going to happen when it's meant to happen. And so we have possibly for next year. So 2022, that would be 21 years for the anniversary of 9/11. And I said, well, that also has significance since I like numbers. 21 gun salute. When I was served, I was part of funeral detail, and I did several funerals. And so that's where that resonates. We can do that with honor for our fallen, the 21, and also the number 22. The 22, that's too many. 22 veterans a day. Sorry, I'm going to get emotional, but 22 veterans a day that commit suicide. It's too much. There shouldn't be one. So if it happens on 22, it has it has that significance and we can bring light to it as we, proceed with, a dedication. And if it's not, it can be, like I said, done with excellence. We don't want to cut corners. We would just want to make sure that it's perfect. And hopefully all of our Gold Star families approve of everything.
What a timely subject that we're talking about now with Memorial Day fast approaching. We're talking about the Westmoreland County Veterans of the War on Terror and the Memorial Plaza that is being designed and eventually will be constructed at Twin Lakes Park in Greensburg. I'm with Dorey McCarron now. She's an Army veteran and she's president and founder of this organization. Dorey, as we kind of wrap up the half hour, I want you to talk to people about how they can get involved and how they can donate.
So simply on the website, obviously any donation, $1 more, we appreciate everything. We're hoping to still be able to have a super bingo on June 26th to be held at the Jeanette American Legion. Again, with COVID and things like that, capacity, things could change. But we know for sure on September 11th this year, we will be having our second annual Wikwawat Warriors Open golf outing and dinner. We took over the David Weger Memorial Golf Outing. His best friend had it for 12 years. He contacted me. He's like, I'm going to donate the money. And then I called Ryan back. Ryan Carmen did an amazing job honoring his friend. I said, oh my gosh, why don't we take this over? I don't know anything about golf, but we still had an amazing, successful event last year. And we hope this year we can max out our golfers.
Where is that?
That's going to be at Seven Springs.
Okay.
So I know that is in Somerset County. But again, just because it's in Somerset County doesn't mean it's because we're global. And
I actually think parts of Seven Springs are in Westmoreland County. So not to worry about that. So.
Oh, thank you. But so David's family, basically that he served with, come up from OSI. They come from out of state. So to continue that, they stay there. There's a place, the hotel, there's a place for them. They golf, have dinner. They celebrate his life, share stories. And now we're able to do that with our other fallen and other military. The camaraderie that we saw last year with the Gold Star family members that could come and the other people, it was a beautiful thing. And that's what we are going to carry on, that legacy. So we expanded from David. It's still originally his event, but then it shares. So the golf outing, we hope that everyone, can make that. And if they don't golf, I'd say people still eat, right? So we have the dinner afterwards. And getting involved, we are going to be helping to place flags for Memorial Day. Right now, I know we'll be helping the Jeanette American Legion, which I am a member. I'm a Legionnaire there. And also the Norwin VFW, helping to place flags. And we actually gave letters out to all of the different veteran service organizations. We helped to distribute flags this year again, helping the Department of Veterans Affairs out of Greensburg with the flag distribution for the orders for all of the county's cemeteries. They make sure that those flags are placed. So we give out letters. So if they don't have the personnel, that's where we volunteer. So if we'll be posting that on Facebook, if anyone wants to come and help, and we've been, if we are requested to help, and that's it, just giving of your time. So
your time, and then can you make a donation online, or is it send in a check, or how does that work?
Oh, you can send in a check. There's also, we accept PayPal, and I think that's all on the website. I should check. I should know better. It's the PayPal me. So there, I know there is a link. It's on the website. So yes, the website, wcvwot.org.
And that's,
so there, yeah, PayPal's, yes.
That's an acronym for Westmoreland County Veterans of the War on Terror. And it sounds like an amazing project that's really starting to bear fruit very quickly. Yes. And so next steps, you'll be working with the township, and anybody who is interested, again, in knowing the location of this. This is at Twin Lakes. You said Georgia Station Road, and I believe you said it's right next to the Peach Plaza, where the skate park is, right?
Yes, correct. And if there are any businesses that they would be able to offer in-kind services, I think obviously that would be able to work in with the bids. So anything, organizations, veteran-owned businesses, or just other businesses that want to be a part of this, once we put out the bids, obviously we would love any in-kind donations of materials, service. And that's the hard thing to ask for. It's like when you're humbly and they're like, Dorey, you have to ask for donations. It's like, I know, but I think people want to give freely, and it's not, most people don't think about it until they're asked. Mm-hmm. So yes, we would humbly appreciate any donation possible, like I said, monetarily, time, in-kind services. And eventually, I know people have asked if we'll have donor bricks. That's down the line because we have to see where we would place them to be a part of purchasing a donor brick. So these will all be updates on the website, Facebook. And thank you for doing this interview with me.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
It's different. I'm not, as you can tell, I'm not necessarily being specific and asking for help. I'm a doer. I'm a doer, not necessarily a talker.
Well, that's why we're here on Westmoreland Community Connections on WHJB. You just heard all about the Westmoreland County Veterans of the War on Terror and the project that they are undertaking at Twin Lakes Park to build a war memorial. I'm with their president, Dorey McCarron. Dorey, thank you so much, and enjoy your Memorial Day. We'll be keeping you and all of our veterans in our thoughts and prayers.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Thank you, everyone.
This has been Westmoreland Community Connections, a look at issues and happenings in and around Westmoreland County. Join us again next week on Classic Hits 107.1 WHJB.
Westmoreland Community Connections is a presentation of Citizens Fiber.